Guess I'll have to do it this way. Okay. All right, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy King Gabe. I was trying to get it to go the other way, but it done started like this. So I guess we'll be, I guess we'll be facing this way. I really see. I'd be liking it better when it go like that, but it won't let me do it. Eh, guess I guess I should have went in the settings there, but yeah, it's too late now. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back, scrolling back up here. This is what we're about to, yeah, about to proofread. About to do the. I know I did this before in the last stream while I was editing this while looking through this rough draft. But now this is the final look through to make sure everything is the way I want it in here. So I'm actually going to read this out loud. I should be able to get through the whole thing. Kind of got some. Probably be up here till probably like a little after 2. So I should be able to get through this there. That's what I'm hoping. If not, I should be able to. But if not, it probably won't be too much left, and I'll probably should be able to knock the rest out. Once I get back there from where I gotta go. Yeah. Once wifey gets home, yeah, and then take care of a few things, few little business things, So make sure I have plenty of water because it is hot over here. It's not really too hot though. Like I got the fans on, but I had to turn the air conditioners off because I just cleaned the filters of the air conditioners recently. Well, actually today, yeah, I cleaned them today, so I'm making sure that they're completely dry before I put them back in, turn them on, which I'll do that when she gets here, or probably when she's on her way here. That yeah, it'd be nice and cool when both of us are here. Yeah, cause I can pretty much sit through this if I for something like that. Yeah, but like I say, which I guess either one, but well, it'll be back on when she gets here. So all right, let's get into this. Yumeko, book number 2. Hiko's magical time elises. And reading again funny voices. Yumiko book 2, Hiko's magical time arises. Okay. So one thing I did take out of here was which I may have mentioned in the last stream, but I actually took out the last time on Yumiko. It sounds pretty cool to do, but I figured it was kind of unnecessary to have in there. So yeah, so we cut right to chapter 1. Okay, so Emily had decided to check on Dashtail shortly after talking with Brownie. When she arrived in his room, she heard Flora in a panic as she explained about Hiko and Samuel and listened. Flora shouted, "I'm so sorry, everyone, but Hiko and his friends are in danger." "What?" shouted everyone else. "Where are they?" asked Brownie. "Trapped inside the abandoned color mart," said Flora, starting to tear up. "They went inside because I told them you were in there, Brownie, and then Brownie, then when I realized you wasn't, I tried to get them out, but I got separated from them in that warp." Then she broke down crying as she said, "It's all my fault. I'm so sorry, Brownie." "Calm down, Flora," said Brownie. "I ain't gonna get them out." "I'm coming with you," said Gerald. and I will assist you as. Oh, okay. "Hey, what's up, Antonio?" Medina, how you doing? Nice. All right. All right. Just I'm reading through the rough draft of my book one final time to make sure everything's right before I put it off the post there before I get it published. So that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing in here. Let's say. Okay. So where was that? Oh yeah. Calmed. Oh yeah. And I will assist you too as well, said Mr. Fluffles. Like, so will I, said Dashtail, getting up from the bed, but then he fell from the back pain. Stay here and continue to rest your back, said Brownie firmly. But, started Dasher, but then he noticed Brownie and Mr. Fluffles glaring at him and said, fine, I'll stay. Emily entered the room and said, I'm coming too. Now, Emily, said Brownie, this is a beyond fire emergency. Okay, this I'm reading the as I stated, I'm reading the rough draft of my Yumeko uh number two, Hiko's Magical Time Arises. Yeah, I'm reading through it a final time to make sure everything is right in the rough draft, make sure I got, every little nitpick out of there. So yep, so that way it'll be all good when I send it off to publish. Yeah. So yeah, I want to be like, I be, I want to be like like that movie, Cool Cat, when they mentioned there was a flub in the movie. It's like, you can't have flubs like this. People pay money for this. So, yep. Okay. Okay. So this is a. How do I? How do you go live in YouTube? How you go live? Now I'm doing this on my phone here. But what you do, you pretty much just go to YouTube. Like okay, like you got a YouTube account. There's a you go to I try to think. Oh, there should be a button for that's on the if you're on a desktop or laptop. There's a button called Create, and if you click on that, it'll give you the options of either upload a video that you may have on your computer, or go live. You click go live, and then set up all that you want, like your title of your live stream, what it's about, your hashtags, all that. It pretty much walks you through once you click it, all the things that you need for it, everything. And yeah, you also would need a definitely a thumbnail. Yeah, have that ready, especially depending on, especially if you're doing it from your laptop. But if you're doing it from your phone, yeah, it's pretty much, it's not. I think the button's a little different on the iPhone. It's I think it looks like a plus sign, depending on what kind of phone you have. But whatever button allows you to upload videos, it will also give you the option of doing a live stream. So yeah, if you're doing it from your phone. So yep. So that's pretty much what you do there. That's how you get on live. Yep. Excuse me there. Okay, so all right. Oh, that's where I was at. Okay. Stop. Okay. Hey, look, you clicked in this. This is what's going on. Me proofing through this book so I can make sure everything's right to go to post. So why you would come in saying stop? That's doesn't make any sense there. All right. That involves two kids in danger, said Emily sternly. Okay. Oh. Okay. What the hell? Thank you. Well, technically, I would prefer handsome, but I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, Yep. Yeah, I appreciate the compliment. Yeah, That's a personally, I prefer for guys that I refer to the ladies as beautiful. Yeah. So okay. That involves two kids in danger, said Emily sternly. I refuse to stay behind. I appreciate your concern, said Mr. Fluffles, but this particular mission is better if we deal with it. However, I promise once you've had more training, we'll let you come on some of the Beyond Fire emergency missions too. Okay? Can I do that Master Splinter voice for Mr. Fluffles? Emily sighed in disappointment and said, Yes, sir. I'll come help too, said Flora. Not so fast, said Brownie. Why not? Asked Flora. You're going to stay here at the fire station until we come back, said Brownie. But I want to help, said Flora. I think you helped enough, said Emily. And what is that? And what's that supposed to mean? Said Flora angrily. Well, based on your confession I overheard, you're the reason those kids are in danger in the first place, said Emily. I told them not to go in, said Flora, raising her voice. Yeah, after leading them to the danger, said Emily. What are you trying to say, kitty cat? Now see here, don't ever call me a kitty cat. Well, stay out of the business. Okay, I'm going to have to teach you some respect. Okay, that is enough, you two. Let's see, make sure I read it right. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's enough, you two, shouted Brownie. Yes, let's focus on the rescue at hand, said Mr. Fluffles. On that note, Mr. Fluffles, Billy, Brownie, and Gerald left the room and headed to the Fire Command Center. Hello, Casey. How's it going, sis? Glad you could make it. Yep. And that's chapter 2. Yep. All right. Good. Okay, so chapter 2. In the Barnhart Forest, a tall blue fox with green eyes appeared. She searched the entire forest for a long time for Naomi. Eventually, the fox sent Shanice's dark magic and followed the trail it left behind. Over. What's that? On the surface. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Huh. It's an interesting emoji, though. Yeah, I just thought maybe since you had first came in here, I just assumed you was. I just assumed it was like, "What's up?" You know. Let's see. Oh yeah. So she searched the entire. Ah. Yeah, pretty much there. She searched the entire forest for a long time for Naomi. Eventually, the fox sent Shanice's dark magic and followed the trail it left behind. Over at the abandoned Cola Mart, Brownie, Gerald, Mr. Fluffles, Hiko, Samuel, and Naomi were face to face with Ramon Raban and Shanice Harper. After Ramon introduced himself and Shanice, Brownie growled as he said, "How could I possibly forget that little witch?" Are you angry I tried to make your show more interesting? Said Shanice in a sarcastic tone. My programming would have made you popular. Would you want to be popular? Your program severely hurt my live audience, said Brownie. Especially bringing that movie Hollow Vision to life. Wait a minute, exclaimed Hiko. Big Papa once told me that That movie wasn't suitable for children, just like Bobby's mask. The only way you could have brought it to life was by seeing the movie. So, how in the world did your parents allow you to see that movie? Shanice laughed and said, Whoever said my parents allowed me to see it? I've been able to see a lot of things your parents would never show you. Then she looked at Brownie and said, And as for you, sometimes you have to break some rules and suffer to become popular in order to raise your ratings, my pet. She said, I am not your I'm not your pet, shouted Brownie. Then he faced Ramon and said, Now back to you. How do you know us and what do you want? Patience, Brownie, said Ramon. I'm sure your sensei taught you something about that. However, I will inform you that the grandparents of your friend Hiko are here. Where are my grandparents? Hiko demanded. You'll have to find them, said Ramon, holding up his staff as it glowed. The thunder rumbled louder and the lightning flashed more ferociously. Eventually, a vortex opened, sucking up Mr. Fluffles, Brownie, Gerald, Hiko, Naomi, and Samuel into it. Ramon and Shanice laughed evilly as he said, And now the game begins. A few minutes later, the fox arrived in the parking lot, but she was too late. Ramon and Shanice had vanished. However, their dark magic still lingered, and the fox began to follow its new trail. The vortex hurled everyone at warp speed. Meanwhile, in the dojo of the fire station, 3 students were doing some kendo training. Suddenly, Hiko, Samuel, and Naomi appeared out of the vortex and landed on the floor. As the students helped them up to their feet, Hiko looked at one of the students and he was confused. Naomi? He said, How did you change your clothes so fast? The student looked at Hiko more confused than he was as Naomi approached him and said to Hiko, I did not change my clothes, and she is not me. I kind of lost my place there. Oh, yeah. Hiko looked back and forth rapidly at Naomi and the student several times in shock. And eventually he said to the student, You look just like Naomi. That was sort of that part was sort of what I got from Yu-Gi-Oh! Awaken the Dragon. I mean, Enter the Shadow Realm when Taya saw Kaiba. Like, Kaiba? Did you change your clothes? Taya? That's not Kaiba. Wah! You he ha ha. Relax. I made these to duel against all the time. Why duel yourself? Who better? So, yeah, kind of thought of that little scene there. The student chuckled a bit, took a glance at Naomi, and said to Hiko, "Well, I guess I have a twin sister now." You are my twin sister? Asked Naomi. But how come I have not seen you before? And why did my parents not tell me about you? She did. She didn't mean literally, said the second student. It was just a joke. But speaking of twins, I'm her twin brother, Timothy Yukoshi. But most people call me Tim, and her name is Julie Yukoshi. The third student did a curtsy and said, And I'm Melina Kingston. but you can call me Melina. Thought I heard something kept beeping there just a second ago. Of course they can call you Melina, you silly dilly, said Julie, play, grinning and playfully elbowing Melina. Melina giggled more as Hiko, Samuel, and Naomi introduced themselves. Then the vortex appeared again, with Brownie, Gerald, and Mr. Fluffles falling out of it this time. As the kids helped them up, Billy entered after noticing what happened, he said, "Oh, thank goodness, you're all back. I assume that means the rescue mission was successful." "Yes, but we have another problem," said Brownie. "My grandparents are here," said Hiko. "But some rabbit sorcerer named Ramon Raban sent them somewhere, and we don't know where." Suddenly, Julie stared off in the distance, and her eyes glowed blue. Is everything okay, Julie?" asked Hiko. Oh, I need to put a question mark there. Okay, because he asked. Okay. Hopefully these errors, hopefully there don't be no more after this. Yeah. "She's having a vision," said Mr. Fluffles. Sort of like, and that stare off into space, sort of like Raven from That's So Raven. And yeah, and then he sees so, and then of course they made it sillier when Eddie had a vision there. He did this. Okay, but yeah, more like Raven Simone. Yeah. Or Raven Baxter, as she's called in the show. She. Oh yeah, Samuel. "Wow!" exclaimed Samuel. That must mean she has psychic powers. Cool." Julie looked at Hiko as her eyes went back to normal. "What did you see?" asked Hiko. Forgive Forgive me for reading your mind, Hiko, said Julie. "I wasn't for sure who the people in my vision were, but they resembled you, Hiko." Julie projected projected images of her vision into Hiko's mind. He was shocked at what he saw and said, "My grandparents! And there's some kind of skeleton dragon chasing them." "Wait, a skeleton dragon?" shouted Samuel. "That's gotta be the dragon Skelegon," said Tim. "He's major bad news," said Melina. "Well, let's go find Skelegon and rescue my grandparents," said Hiko. "It's not that easy," said Brownie. "Hey, why not?" asked Hiko. Mr. Fluffles explained. "Back in 1985, there was a city known as Miriam, not too far from Barnhart, with lots of farmlands for miles. One day, a wild dragon attacked the city. The military arrived immediately and they were able to defeat the dragon. Then, one night in 1988, an odd a meteorite, fell in the city, and the next day, the skeleton of that dragon rose from his grave. Somehow, he was stronger than before, and he was able to regenerate himself every time the military attacked it. So everyone evacuated the city, and Ace and Silverstone sealed it with a magical barrier to prevent the dragon from escaping. Because of his skeletal form, the dragon and Miriam City are both called Skelegon." "How did he create this barrier?" asked Hiko. "Magic tech," said Billy. "Mr. Silverstone's company, Silverstone Industries, specializes in producing it. It's used all around Yumeko, but the regions that use it the most are Majiran, Johnson, and here in the Douglas region." All right, kids, started Brownie. I'll contact Mr. Silverstone on what's going on and ask him to let Gerald and I into Skeleton City so that we can rescue your grandparents, Hiko. No. Oh my god. It's supposed to be City City. How the heck did I get Siten? Yeah, that's a I'm surprised I didn't catch that any other times I looked over this thing. Okay. Dear God, let this be all the proofs in this final edit, please, dear God. In your son Jesus' name. Just yeah, like I say, it's quite a bit of doing going over this thing there. At least that's one thing this live stream really kind of makes it easier a little bit because I'm actually a little more focused on it than I was reading through it the other times there. So yeah. Okay, so we can rescue your grandparents, Hiko. No way, said Hiko. I'm coming with you. There's no way I'm staying behind while my grandparents are in danger. And I'm going too, said Samuel. Heroic buddies gotta stick together. I will go also, said Naomi. I want to help save your grandparents the same way that you helped save me, Hiko. I don't know if this is a good idea, said Gerald. Skeleton City is a mysterious place, said Mr. Fluffles. There are many areas mixed mixed up like a maze. So it would be wise to let the children come to help you cover more ground and possibly discover the weakness of Skeleton, just like Hiko did against the giant zombie. Brownie and Gerald thought for a moment. Then Brownie said, all right, then let's get ready. Meanwhile, in Dashtail's room, Dashtail had fallen asleep and Emily sat in the corner reading a book. Flora was bored and tired of waiting. I'm out of here, she said. I don't think so, said Emily, setting her book down. Brownie told you to stay here, obviously to keep you out of trouble. Look, you're not my mom, kitty cat, said Flora. Emily rushed in front of Flora and raised her voice. I told you not to call me that. Now lose that attitude and sit back down. Fine, said Flora. She sat down in her seat. But as soon as Emily sat down and picked up her book to read, Flora said, Bye bye, you grumpy old kitty cat. Emily quickly set her book down, jumped back up, and ran toward Flora. On that note, Flora stuck out her tongue, blowing raspberry as she vanished in a poof of fairy dust. This caused Emily to crash into Dashtail and knock him out of his bed. He woke up yelling in pain from his back, and Emily stomped her foot in frustration. Doggone it! Shouted Emily. I don't like or trust that little troublemaking fairy. Something isn't right about her. Well, right now, I'm not too fond of either of you, said Dashtail, struggling to get up. Emily took a deep breath to calm down and apologized as she helped Dashtail back in bed. Then she thought for a minute and said, You know what? That's just fine. Let her leave since she wants to go so bad. She's been nothing but trouble since I got here. She's been nothing but trouble since I got here. That clears away my problem. The fact when Emily said that it clears my problem, and then all of a sudden she gonna be like, yeah, she better go after her. It's sort of like Pacha from the Emperor's New Groove when when he was trying to get Cusco not to destroy his village, and Cusco was and said, "Build your summer home someplace else. You want to run that by me again? I'm not gonna help you build your summer home. I'm not. You're not gonna get. I'm not gonna help you unless you build your summer home somewhere else. Fine. I don't need you. I can find my own way back. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not listening. La, 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 la. Oh, fine. There's no Cusco. There's no Cuscopia. Takes care of my problem. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, sort of. That's kind of. So yeah, Emily kind of got that little moment like Pacha there. Emily stood still for a moment and then let out a sigh. Dashdale looked at her, heading towards the door, and asked, "You're gonna go after her, aren't you? So Brownie won't be mad." "No!" she shouted and slammed the door as she walked out. Way I did her screaming no, almost like my little god cousin when she said Sal, almost like that. "Whatever," said Dashdale. "What Sensei and Brownie see in her is beyond me." And now we're at chapter 3. You get a little sippy sip. Meanwhile, Granny was driving down Interstate 30. Soon her and Big Papa saw the exit for Interstate 59. But when Granny took the exit, they didn't realize they went through a vortex. Now she was driving down what looked like Interstate 59, but there were no exits. "Cat," hey, was it? Oh yeah, Granny's voice. "Cat, dash it, Archie," said Granny. "And I take the wrong exit." "No, nah, Esther, this should be Interstate 59, said Big Papa. "Well, we should have passed by a sign telling us how far it is to West Gabriel Road," said Granny. Then dark storm clouds appeared, covering the sky, but there was no rain, no thunder, or lightning. Instead, skulls came down from the clouds. "What the devil?" shouted Granny and Big Papa together as Granny stopped the car. However, the force of her applying the brakes so suddenly caused the car to spin and crash into some of the skulls, knocking them off the freeway. Once the car stopped spinning, the remaining skulls, along with some more coming out of the clouds, sprouted huge spider-like legs and slowly approached the car. Like the skeletons Hiko and Samuel faced at the abandoned Cola Mart, the skulls would stop every few minutes to point with their legs, look at each other, and say, "Hey, do, 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 hey, do, 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 hey, do, do, hey," as they continued approaching the car. That right there, that's actually the whole her knocking the skulls off the freeway. It's kind of a little I kind of had Super Mario in mind when you get the invincible mode in Super Mario, especially what's about to happen later. When you get that gold star and you become invincible for a short limit or a brief moment. Do 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 and be passing by until it runs out. Do 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 do. And the skull's going, "Hey." That's actually what another thing I had in mind was this game I played called Spooky Castle back in high school on the computer. One of these games that one of our church members from my old church had given my mom and I, and in the Spooky Castle game, whenever you saw these skeletons come up, they be shooting fireballs and stuff. They come up to you, and when they see you, they would look at each other, point at you, go, "Hey, do, 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 hey, do, 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 Hey. Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but they just did. So, yeah, that's what I put in there. What are we gonna do? Shouted Granny. Hey, drive through really, drive through really fast," said Big Papa. "Run them over." Granny didn't hesitate. She drove so fast she knocked every skull off the freeway until an exit finally appeared, but it didn't say the name of the street. She immediately took the exit without thinking, turned right on the street, and after that, she pulled to the side of the road and stopped the car. "What do we do now?" asked Granny. Big Papa thought for a moment and said, "Oh, excuse me there." No, it's not in the book I just built. Excuse me. Anyway, Big Papa thought for a moment and said, "Let's drive around till we find someone that can help us get back on track and find the boys." "All right, but you're driving for now," said Granny. Big Papa drove a long time on the road. Eventually, he arrived at the entrance to a fishing pond. He drove inside, parked, and stepped out the car with Granny. Then he noticed Flora sitting by a tree listening to her Walkman, and he called out to her, excuse me, young lady. Can you help?" I hate it when they get caught like that during the live stream like that. I mean, hold on. Oh no, it done froze up on me. Okay. I think we're back. I think it's not moving now. Oh, okay, now it is. Hang on, there's got to be a way I could. Too bad now. It's a way I can pause this or something there. Hold on just 1 second, everybody. Let me see what I can do here. Okay, well I'll come back. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to. Let's see. Maybe there's a. Okay. All right. All right. Well, okay. Yeah, let me just continue for now. Just have to come back there. Please don't get no more calls during the live stream. Okay, please. Okay. All right. So, oh yeah. Let's drive. Oh yeah. Wait, were we about the fishing pond? Flora couldn't hear Big Papa. She was so. Like, Flora couldn't hear Big Papa. She was so into the music that she even had her eyes closed. So she couldn't see Big Papa either as she started jamming and dancing. "Cat, that's it," said Granny. "Them young folks get to listen to their music on them devilish headphones and they can't hear a thing." It's the same way Michael was when AJ got some headphones for him on his 13th birthday. Suddenly, Big Papa heard a noise from a distance. Then Granny heard it too. As it got louder and louder, eventually there was a herd of angry golden buffaloes, just like the giant one from Big Papa's dream, slowly approaching them. "Get that girl to safety," commanded Big Papa. Granny noticed Big Papa picked up a large stick nearby and said, "Like, what do you think you're doing?" "I'm gonna scare them away," said Big Papa. The buffaloes started to charge at Big Papa, and he charged at them, yelling like a knight going into battle. Granny yelled, "Archie, get back here!" Big Papa continued charging until he got close enough to hit the leading buffalo with the stick, causing him to stop. The others stopped upon noticing this. Then Big Papa said demandingly, "Now look here, buffaloes. My wife and I are looking for my wife and I are looking for our grandson and his friends. So you can either help us or get out of the way." The buffaloes were about to charge again, but they but then they stood still, looked around, and took off running away from Big Papa. Granny looked in shock as Big Papa grinned, turned around, and said, "Well, at least we can find the kids now." "What's all the commotion?" asked Flora, approaching Granny. Suddenly, Granny's car was blasted to pieces by a fireball. Everyone looked and saw a skeleton and ran as he flew toward them really fast. Oh boy. And now we're in the fourth chapter here. Oh dear. Okay, so the fox arrived on the roof of the firehouse. Then she used astral protection to allow her conscience to separate from her body and travel into the firehouse. Once the fox found Naomi talking with Brownie and the others, she listened in. Brownie explained the plan. Okay, okay, Hiko, Samuel, and Julie will go with me to Skelegon City. And I'll stay here with everyone else, said Mr. Fluffles. But, sir, started Naomi, concerned and worried. Oop, it's about to fall over here. Stay up now, phone. Okay, let's start again. But, sir, started Naomi, concerned and worried. I do not mean to be disrespectful to you, but I said I would go with Hiko to help him save his grandparents. Mr. Fluffles gently placed his hand on Naomi's shoulder and said, I know you did, dear child, but the reason the rest of us are staying behind is so we can be on alert in case Ramon strikes again. He might attack the city or interfere with the rescue, but we'll be ready to stop him. Naomi was still worried, but Melina chimed in excitedly and said, It'll be all right, Naomi. With Brownie leading and Julie's sword skills, your friends will definitely be able to beat Skelegon. And whoever this Ramon guy is won't stand a chance against all of us with Mr. Fluffles on our side. Naomi smiled and said, Okay, but promise me that you will all be safe and careful. We will, said Brownie. Well, since that's cleared up, said Julie, let's go get some good weapons and armor to help us fight. Sounds good to me, said Samuel. Me too, said Hiko. Hiko? said Naomi, approaching him. I know I have given you this before, but I want to give it to you again. Then Naomi kissed Hiko's cheek. Good luck. Thank you, said Hiko, blushing. You are welcome, said Naomi. Aw, that's so cute. And so proper, too. Yeah, that's just the way Naomi talks, though. Sort of like Starfire from Teen Titans. Everyone went, aww, for a moment until Emily entered. I hate to break up the adorable moment, but Flora laughed. Brownie groaned and said, "Not again." They, "You guys go ahead into Skeleton City," said Billy. "I'll use the scanners to search for Flora." "I'll ask Mr. Silverstone to open the barrier for all of you," said Mr. Fluffles. "And I'll search the city. And I'll search the city and ask if anyone has seen Flora," said Gerald. "Okay," said Brownie. "Emily, you can help with the search in the city." "I don't think so," said Emily. "I'm coming with you, Brownie, to help Hiko find his grandparents. Sorry, but that fairy is nothing but trouble. I just know it. So it's better to let her go." Brownie sighed, and Mr. Fluffle said, "Okay, Gerald and Billy, to your assignments. Emily will go with Brownie's team. There is no time to waste." Then Brownie led the four to the dojo to suit up in their armor. After that, they picked out their weapons. Brownie got himself a fire axe and a pump pressure sprayer, pretty much like what you see in the firefighters. Emily got two batons, a grappling hook launcher, power bracelets that fire electrical shock discs, knockout gas, and needle missiles. Wow, that's quite a bit there. Julie got two katanas and several daggers, and Samuel got some shurikens, smokescreen bombs, and a retractable bow staff. Hiko thought for a moment about what to use. Brownie approached Hiko and said, "I don't mean to be rude, but you gotta make your choice quick because we don't know how much time we got left to save your grandparents." On that note, Hiko instantly got an idea. He closed his eyes. Oh, it's the moment I've been waiting for here, y'all. he closed he closed his eyes and focused his magic towards his pocket watch. And I forgot to put mine on here. His pocket watch around his neck. It opened up, revealing the clock arrows spinning around extremely fast. Then the light glowed around Hiko, and the watch so bright it almost blinded everyone. Once the light vanished, everyone looked in shock. Hiko looked a little taller. His hair had bigger spikes. The suit he had on before had now changed into a gold and silver tunic with matching pants and a headband. The watch was now attached to the front of the tunic. That's an actual Egyptian outfit, by the way. And there was a royal blue cape attached on the back. Attached on the back of it. "Whoa! I didn't expect that, but it's cool!" exclaimed Samuel. "You're like a superhero. So does that mean you got some new magical power? Some new magical superpowers?" "Of course," said Hiko. Everyone noticed his voice was slightly deeper as he continued speaking. "But you'll have to see when we get there." "I hope you know what you're doing," said Brownie. "I'm pretty sure he does," said Samuel. "However, since he since he changed his clothes, perhaps I can make a quick change." And now we get to chapter 5. This might. Chapter 5. Once Mr. Fluffles got Asen to open the barrier, Brownie, Emily, Hiko, Samuel, and Julie arrived in Skeleton City. Samuel was now wearing a kimono, like Julie. However, his was blue with light blue and brown detailing, and Julie's was a darker blue with gold and red detailing. They went to look for clues. starting at the pond where Granny and Big Papa were at before Skeleton appeared. Suddenly, the ground started shaking, and the ground shaking. Oh, and like they shake that camera for dramatic effect. Yeah, gotta be careful though. With I don't want to accidentally turn the phone off in the middle of the stream and I end up losing you guys. Mm. However, they went to. Oh, excuse me. Suddenly, the ground started shaking. Everyone looked around until they saw an army of giant skull-headed Venus flytraps coming out of the ground and start attack come out of the ground and start attacking. Julie instantly shielded everyone with a psychic barrier, which also absorbed the impact of the attacks. Eventually, she crossed her arms across her chest. Then she uncrossed them, unleashing the barrier, knocking the Venus flytraps down. Looks like the danger is starting up, said Julie. Then the Venus flytrap started slowly getting back up. Everyone got the weapons ready, and Hiko said, "Well, if they're going to start the danger, then we're going to send it right back to them times two. Hey, we're going to send it right back to them 2 times greater. Make that 2 times 2 greater," said Brownie. "Let's clear this garden monstrosity." "Will do," said Samuel. "We'll do it so fast we'll be striking like the stars." On that note, the battle began. Brownie led the attack, hacking some of the Venus flytraps to pieces with his axe. Julie did the same with her katanas. Emily blew up some of them, firing her needle missiles into the other flytrap mouth, causing them to explode. Samuel threw his smokescreen bombs, causing a lot of smoke to be released, blinding the flytraps. Then Samuel threw his shurikens, which confused the flytraps to the point of tangling each other up and coming apart. "Time reversal control!" shouted Hiko. At that moment, 2 clock arrows appeared in his hands. He positioned them like a clock at noon and focused his magic through them as he focused his magic through them, they began to glow. Then the severed skulls from the flame fly traps rose up, and a holographic image of a clock appeared behind Hiko. As the hands of the clock went backwards, the skulls attacked and devoured the remaining fly traps. After that, the skulls became bigger and faced Hiko to attack, but he knew what to do. "Corona obliteration!" shouted Hiko. The clock became a beam of light that struck all the skulls and turned them to dust. "That was awesome," said Samuel. "I agree," said Julie. "Your magic was impressive." "Well done, kiddo," said Emily. "Thank you," said Hiko. "To be honest, I sort of made it up on the spot." Brownie chuckled and said, "Well, you've made up a lot of things, and they seem to work out in one way or another. So as long as you keep it up the way you did now, we should succeed." Then everyone heard clapping, and a voice said, "Well, isn't this precious?" Everyone looked around and saw Ramon grinning. "What have you, what have you done with my grandparents?" demanded Hiko. "I might tell you if you act nicely," said Ramon sarcastically. "Just say pretty please with the carrot cake." Then Ramon bust out laughing. "That does it!" shouted Emily, extending her claws. "I'll get you to talk, you funny bunny." I'm, I'm going in with you, said Samuel, taking out his bow. Hold it, you two, shouted Brownie and Julie. It was too late. Emily and Samuel were already charging toward Ramon. Emily went in first, slashing Ramon's face twice, then Samuel used his bow to wham Ramon into a nearby tree. After that, Emily picked up Ramon by his collar with one hand and pointed her claws at him with the other. I bet that will make you talk, she said. Samuel pointed his bow at Ramon and said, Yeah, tell us where Hiko's grandparents are now. Suddenly, Ramon vanished and his robe fell to the ground. After that, his staff became a cobra with the head of a manta ray and a scary devil face on it. Yeah, that was sort of like with the manta ray head on a cobra body. That the devil face. It's sort of based off of a manta ray. I saw that on YouTube that they were trying to pass off for a mermaid for some reason, and it looked really creepy in the video. And looked like it's the way his mouth and face looked like he was angry, and it was like, I was like, ugh. That's just creepy. Okay, so the cobra quickly wrapped around Emily and Samuel's bodies to bite them, but Julie quickly teleported them out of the cobra's grip. Corona obliteration! Shouted Hiko. The clock appeared again, firing another beam of light toward the cobra. The cobra quickly dug underground to avoid the attack. Once the beam cleared, everyone noticed a robe stand up. Then Ramon appeared in it and said, You can't defeat me that easily. So why don't we try asking nicely, like I requested, and I'll tell you where my captives are. How about I look for the answer myself, said Julie. She froze Ramon from moving with her psychic powers and started scanning his mind. Eventually, she saw an image of Granny and Big Papa falling down a pitfall trap. Big Papa positioned himself to break Granny's fall. However, the landing caused Big Papa to injure his back. Then Skeleton showed up, grabbed Granny and Big Papa, and launched a fireball at Julie. She quickly got out of Ramon's head. Her state of shock caused caused her to unfreeze Ramon. What? What did you see? Asked Tigo. It looks like it. It looks like your grandparents were captured by Skeleton," said Julie. I guess Skeleton wanted both of your grandparents for dinner. That's quite an appetite for a bony dragon. So if you plan to save them, you better hurry up to his den. Skeleton isn't very patient when it comes time to eat. Then Ramon laughed as he vanished. Ooh, and that's chapter 6. I think should I keep going? Okay, I guess I could. Yeah, I still got some water left. Chapter 6. Skeleton arrived. I do like the challenge. Skeleton arrived at his den and flew inside his special room. Then he placed Flora, Granny, and Big Papa on the ground. Big Papa quickly looked around and noticed some rocks on the ground. He picked them up and stood in front of Granny and Big Papa. Okay. Let me try. Let's start over. Big Papa quickly looked around and noticed some rocks on the ground. He picked them up and stood in front of Granny and Flora to protect them. As Skeleton positioned himself to eat them, Big Papa shouted, "You better back off, you whatever the devil you are, whatever the devil you're supposed to be, or else." Skeleton roared, almost like Sandy and SpongeBob when Like he said, Sandy, I'm warning you. I can almost imagine her saying, "Warness, warness." Oh boy! So he was, then Big Papa threw the rocks, which went into Skeleton's mouth. As he started choking, Big Papa, Granny, and Flora escaped, but in less than a minute, Skeleton stopped choking and quickly flew after them. He was just about to catch them. Just as he was about to catch them, Flora used her magic to make it dark where nobody could see anything. Then a drum roll started playing, and a bunch of spotlights flashed in Skeleton's face. He looked around until he saw one spotlight on Flora. She poofed Skeleton, Granny, Big Papa, and herself back outside the den next to a barbecue grill, a home audio system, and a tape and tables full of barbecue. There we go. What are you doing? Asked Granny in a whisper. What does it look like? Flora said back with a little attitude. I'm saving you old folks from being eaten. Now take this magic dust and find a way out of here now. And find a way out now. Granny was about to say something about Flora's attitude, but Big Papa gave her a signal to hold her peace due to the crisis they were in. You know, yeah, no, I know my granny. Yes, talking about you old folk. Hey, excuse me. I was like, what did you just say? What you call? You say you what? You better show some respect. Yeah, but in a time of a crisis, yeah. Okay, yeah, cause we trying to keep from getting eaten by a bony dragon. So yeah, that's kind of one of those times where where you can't really corral. I mean, you could, but yeah, take time to do that would give the dragon time to eat you, of course. Sorry about that. Okay. So, Granny. Oh, yeah. They took Flora's magic dust and escaped. Then Flora put one of her tape cassettes in the home audio system and turned it on and raised the volume up. Oh, she about to do one of my songs here. Once the song started, she began to dance and rap along with it. Barbecue, barbecue, chicken wings and thighs, so good to the bone with sausage links and ribs. Okay, wait, the taste is in this. Okay. Barbecue, barbecue, chicken wings and thighs, so good to the bone with sausage links and ribs. The taste is in the zone. All that meat put together on this cast iron grill, it smells so good I can hardly sit still. Barbecue, barbecue, the what? As she kept up the performance, Skeleton tried to eat some of the barbecue on the table. Then he realized he couldn't eat it because it was an illusion. Skeleton shot a fireball at the home audio system, destroying it, causing the music to stop. Skeleton stared and growled angrily at Flora. She looked at him with a nervous smile and said, and that was a smash hit song, Barbecue, by the sensational Taylor Christopher Williams, also known as TC, for your entertainment. So you're welcome. Oh boy. Speaking of which, TC is actually an old sitcom ideal I tried to do back in the day. So good to see. Interesting to see if that comes up again in this universe. Skeleton shot fire from his mouth at Flora. She quickly, excuse me, she quickly dodged and flew away. Skeleton became more furious and flew off after Flora. The chase eventually led them to Brownie, Hiko, Emily, Samuel, and Julie, and suddenly a warp appears, sucking everyone inside. Chapter 7. We're almost done. Back at the fire Back at the fire station, Billy and Gerald were still searching for Flora. Eventually, Gerald arrived at the Royal Walk Shopping Center, yeah, on East Gabriel Road and Carly Drive. Wow, my street intersects with iCarly. He searched in the different places like Armart, groceries, Webb and Wesley bookstore, Mighty Racer's shoe shop, the Premier World video store, and more. You can tell we're in the 90s here with the way some of this stuff sounds. He also asked different people if they had seen Flora after searching. After a lot of searching, Gerald saw Anna come out of a Plant Co. garden shop. They spoke to each other, and Gerald showed a picture of Flora to Anna as he explained the situation. Oh my, said Anna. I'm afraid I haven't seen her, but I would. Before Anna could finish, she was interrupted by a call on Gerald's two-way APX radio. Excuse, excuse me a minute, said Gerald as he answered it. Gerald here, report. It was Billy with urgent news. He said, Gerald, I just heard from Melina that Naomi disappeared. Are you serious? Asked Gerald in a panic. Believe me, it's no joke, said Billy. She's nowhere in the firehouse. And not in the firehouse at all. I assume she must have went to help Brownie and the others. Gilligan, even though Sensei Fluffles told her not to. Even though Sensei Fluffles told her to stay behind. She wouldn't even know where to find it, said Gerald. And even if she did, she wouldn't stand a chance out there by herself. What should we do? Asked Billy. I have an idea, said Anna. I can look for Flora, and you can help search for Naomi. Gerald thought for a moment, and then he handed Anna the picture of Flora with a spare two-way radio and said, all right then, Anna. But if you find Flora or run into any trouble, if any trouble, call us immediately. I will, said Anna. Then Gerald, maybe I should add a ever so much, because Anna, yeah, that's sort of Anna's thing to say. Let's see. I will, said Anna, ever so much. Yeah, it's good. That's sort of an Anna thing to say. Ooh. All right. Just save it so far so I don't lose my information here. Okay. Come on. I have time for freeze ups now. Let's. All right. Here we go. So then Gerald said to Billy, I'll come back and take Tim with me to search for Naomi, starting with Skeleton City. Copy that, said Billy. I'll also let Sensei Fluffles know. Over and out. The fox arrived at the barrier of Skeleton City along with Naomi. The fox charged at the barrier to get through, but the magic in it knocked her back. Are you okay? Asked Naomi. The fox got up and answered, Yes, I am. But I need you to stand back. Naomi stood back as the fox jumped up in the air and said, Freezing spears! The fox unleashed a bunch of ice made spears at the barrier that exploded on contact. When the smoke cleared, the barrier was still up. What should we do now? Asked Naomi. I'll have to use my I'll have to use my astral form to enter, and I hope it works, said the fox. Meanwhile, back in Skeleton's den, Brownie, Hiko, Julie, Samuel, and Emily arrived out of the warp. When they got up, they noticed Flora and Skeleton were missing, and there was no sign of Granny and Big Papa. Then a hologram of Ramon appeared and said, "Welcome to the final level of the game." "Enough playing around, Ramon," said Hiko firmly. "Release my grandparents now." "And also Flora," said Brownie. "I know you've got them somewhere in here." "I'm afraid I can't do that," said Ramon, "because it's unknown where my warp sent them." "Liar!" shouted Emily, extending her claws. She charged at the hologram but went right through it. Ramon laughed and said, "Even if I could release them to you, you still have to you still have to face Skeleton in order to get out of this den alive. So you better get started." Ramon laughed more as the hologram vanished. Everyone searched the den trying to find Skeleton. However, However, the den was a complex maze filled with false paths and traps. To make matters worse, there were more of the various creatures from before, like the skullhead Venus flytraps, skull heads with spider legs, and more skeletons shooting fireballs. There's a lot of skeleton creatures. And skulls, nothing but skulls. Chapter 8. The fox managed to pass through the barrier in her astral form and quickly made her way to Skeleton's den. Once she got there, she spotted a lot of Flora's magic dust and used it to analyze the den and used I think so in the den, okay. Had to make sometimes, yeah, it'd be right. Sometimes it's right. It's in here the right way, but I have to kind of like, okay, wait, how did I root that there? Had to double check how I write this here. Yeah, you ever hear sometimes writers wrote stuff like this one guy who wrote this comic book, Mightily Murdered Power Rangers. That's a really mean spirited parody of the Power Rangers. Even Link Cara hated it, but but the guy who wrote it, he also wrote Power Ranger comics, and he wrote the parodies to get extra money. And the thing was, he just sort of put anything in the comic, the parody ones, just to get the extra cash. And he was like, I don't even know half the stuff I put in those things. Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. I got to keep a good memory of what you're writing in your books there. But yeah, I kind of could understand, with the parody thing. Yeah, like I say, I think he probably put more work into the Power Ranger stuff instead of the parody. The parody, which is extra money for him. So yeah, Guess he wanted a little extra ka-ching. So, anywho, once she once she got there, she spotted a lot of Flora's magic dust and used it to analyze the den and locate Hiko, Brownie, Julie, Emily, and Samuel. Then the fox entered the den and approached everyone. "Hiko Makuro," she said. Everyone stopped and turned to look at the fox. "Who are you?" asked Brownie. The fox replied, "My name is of no importance right now. All you need to know is I've come to lead you out of here." Oh, pressing the wrong button here. Okay. We can't we can't leave until we defeated Skelegon and rest. Oh, that's right. Oh, he goes. Okay. We can't leave until we defeat Skelegon and rescue both my grandparents and Flora, said Hiko firmly. They are not in the den, said the fox. You expect us to just take your word? Asked Emily suspiciously. I don't think so. Julie quickly read the fox's mind and said to everyone, she's telling the truth. Are you are you sure? Asked Samuel. Positive, said Julie. Then lead the way so we can escape, said Hiko. Suddenly, Ramon appeared in person and said, I don't think so. We don't care what we don't care what you think, you silly rabbit, said Samuel. Now get out of our way, demanded Brownie. He fired a powerful stream of water from his pump pressure sprayer at Ramon. Title surprise, said Ramon, holding his staff. The eyes only glowed a bright red. Then the eyes only glowed a bright red. Hey, okay. Oh, as the okay. Let's see. Maybe add eyes only glowed a bright. Okay, let's say as. Okay, then as the eyes glowed a bright red, the water became a tidal wave and went back towards everyone else. Hey, Amber, avalanche counter reverse, said the fox. She froze the tidal wave and sent it back toward Ramon as an avalanche. However, he made a loud whistle, and suddenly a fireball was launched at the avalanche, shattering it to pieces. The fireball came from Skelegon. He entered and stood next to Ramon. You're not leaving unless you can defeat Skelegon, said Ramon. But don't worry, I'll help you out a little. What do you mean? What do you mean by helping us out a little? Asked Emily, extending her claws. I'm on, I'm only going to pick one of you to fight Skelegon one-on-one, said Ramon. And the rest of you will be free to go. Back to the fire station. I pick Hiko. No way, Buster, said Samuel. We're in this fight together. That's right, agreed Julie. You won't have a choice in the matter, exclaimed Ramon. And when Skelegon defeats him, I'll open the barrier and Skelegon will be free to devour whoever he chooses. Now be gone! Then Ramon made a warp and sent Brownie. They made a warp to send Brownie, Julie, Emily, and Samuel back to the fire station, and Hiko was stuck to face Skelegon alone. Oh boy. And we got 2 more chapters left. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get through this. And I'll be ready to send this. Only thing I have left after this is just to get a cover together. Now, I kind of got something in mind. Hiko and Skelegon will warp near Skelegon's special near Skelegon's special room onto a rickety rope bridge with wooden boards to stand on. Always these rickety boards. Hiko looked around and noticed the bridge was high up over a boiling lake of lava. Hiko was a little nervous as he said to himself, This is just like in most of the cartoon shows. What is it with rickety bridges and extremely high places, especially over lava? The battle began. Skelegon flew toward Hiko to attack first. Skelegon managed to dodge again. Hiko managed to dodge again. Hiko dodged, and Skelegon quickly turned around to swoop down toward Hiko again. Hiko managed to dodge again, but he nearly tripped on a broken board. He became really terrified, making it hard for him to think of an attack. He quickly ran to the end of the bridge to get off of it and think. Skelegon sensed his fear and flew toward the opposite end. He grinned evilly at Hiko and started jumping up and down to make the ground shake. Is actually now this part is kind of is also I kind of had Super Mario Brothers in mind. Two things. One was the dragon. You know, you always face the dragon, the dragon's den, and it'd be waiting for you to come, be jumping up and down. And yeah, you have to try to run past, jump over, or run under him, or something like that. Or if you got fireball power, you just shoot him with fireballs. But then also it make me think of the them little, I don't know what they call it. I guess it's a Gooba, but they be throwing these little jack looking things at you, and like one time I caught myself trying to wait for a perfect time to run by them because I didn't have fireball power, and I was like, okay, I'm trying to wait, and all of a sudden they, I kid you not, this scared the heck out of me when this happened. All of a sudden, like they would just stand in one place, and all of a sudden they started coming toward me. I was like, oh no 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 no. Do 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 do. Yeah, so, yeah, it was the two things that came to my mind right in this part here. So then Hiko looked behind him and saw a bunch of skullhead Venus flytraps, skull heads with spider legs, and more skeletons. This made him so terrified that he got on his knees and closed his eyes. Just when it seemed like the end, everything stopped moving. Hiko's, said a voice. Hiko, open your eyes. Oh yeah. Hiko, said a voice. Hiko, open your eyes. Hiko opened his eyes and saw what was going on. Then he noticed the boy that looked just like him and was even dressed like him. The only difference was the boy was in astral form like the fox. Who are you? Asked Hiko. He noticed his voice was in his normal tone. Then the boy spoke in the deeper tone that Hiko spoke in earlier. No, I am the one you imagine yourself as being. Oh, he said, okay, he said, who are you? Okay, okay, just take out no, was all. I am the one who you imagine yourself being as sometime when you wanted to be a hero after getting your watch from Big Papa. Hiko took a moment to think and he remembered. Oh yeah, he said. I imagined myself as the ultimate time magician fighting for justice. That's right, said the boy. Now you must pull yourself together and be that hero to defeat Skelegon. I don't know if I could do I don't know if I can by myself, said Hiko. You are not alone, said the boy. Your family and friends are always with you physically and in spirit. The same bravery you had with them, you can have it now by conquering your fears in the name of Jesus in order to defeat Skelegon. Hiko took a moment to think of what the boy said. In his mind, he saw everyone he knew gather around him, and he even saw Jesus in the midst of them. They told Hiko he wasn't alone. So are you ready to face the enemy? The fears Hiko had earlier started to fade. He stood up with confidence and said, yes, I am. Despite how scary things look, in the name of Jesus, I will not let it stop me. Then let's show that boneheaded devil beast a thing or two, said the boy. Hiko closed his eyes to focus his magic and think of a plan. Once he got one, he opened his eyes. The boy was gone and everything started moving again. Ramon appeared next to Skelegon and said to Hiko, just come across and try any of your pathetic plans, so once they fail, Skelegon can end all this. Hiko's voice deepened again as he said, I have no pathetic plans, Ramon, but what I do have is the one way to put an end to Skeleton once and for all. Impossible! Your dragon's time is up, said Hiko, holding up his hands. Korodo! Extinction! The hands on Hiko's watch went round and round extremely fast, and the den shook like an earthquake. Ramon was about to attack Hiko until he noticed Skeleton and the other skeletons and skull creatures became fossils. Then they fell into the lava and turned to ashes. Ramon was in shock. It's actually two things I had. There's one major thing I had in mind when writing that part was that first episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! The deck. It senses my doubt. Don't lose focus, Yugi. Concentrate. Huh? A friendship symbol. We're all right here for you, Yugi. Yeah, now go kick Kaiba's butt. I was wrong to doubt. Draw your last pathetic card so I can end this match. My grandpa's deck has no pathetic cards, Kaiba, but it does contain the unstoppable Exodia. Impossible! I've assembled all 5 pieces of the puzzle. All 5 for an automatic win. Exodia! That's not possible! Exodia! Obliterate! So yeah, I had that in mind, writing that scene of him defeating Skeleton, and also the fact that they're turning to fossils kind of makes me think of Joey defeating Rex Raptor with the Time Wizard. Time magic. You jerk! Eons are speeding out of control. And next thing you know, Red Eyes, it's been fossilized. No, it has. Sure, he's beginning to gray a little, but that's natural. Go on and have him attack, Rex. Right. Red Eyes, go on and attack. Oh, no! The millions of years that Joey's Time Wizard made pass has turned Red Eyes into a brittle shell of dust. I guess you want my star chips, huh? So, okay, back to here. All right, Ramon, said Hiko. Now it's time to end you, just like Skeleton and his bone monsters. Not today, Hiko, said Ramon. But we will meet again. Then Ramon sent Hiko into a warp out of the den. And now for the final chapter to end it, chapter 10. Just in time, too, because I'm going to need more water after this. The warp sent Hiko back to the fire station, and everyone was glad to see him. After some conversation, Granny and Big Papa took Hiko and Samuel back to their house in the real world, just as Yolanda, Hiko's mother, arrived to pick him up and Samuel. Once the day was over, Hiko wrote about his day in his journal. Boo doo 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 doo. Little Doug reference. Hey, dear journal, he began. This day was not like any other day. First of all, Samuel and I went to Yumeko for our first adventure, and boy, was it something. I got us there using a watch that Big Papa gave me for my birthday. It's just like the one he used for him and Granny to visit Yumeko. The one difference is his watch is kept in his pocket on a chain, and mine had a chain fixed to wear like a necklace. So once Samuel and I arrived, we went looking for Brownie. So this fairy named Flora tried to help us. However, she accidentally led us to an abandoned cola mart filled with skeletons, zombies, and flying cash registers. That's when I discovered I could use magic powers. So with that, and some help from Samuel, we were able to defeat them, and even rescue a princess named Naomi Ricky. I think she likes me. Oh yeah, I think she likes me because she kissed me a lot, and she's pretty. I hope I get to see her again. After that, there was another girl named Shanice Harper that Brownie called her is a Janice Harper that Brownie called a witch. Yeah, just say a witch. she made she made this giant zombie appear, but zombie but Brown but Brownie and his friend Gerald defeated it with a little help from me. Then this sorcerer rabbit named Ramon showed up and warped us back to the firehouse. And warped us to the firehouse. There Samuel and I met. Okay, yeah, take that. Oh yeah, I forgot to take. Gotta take Julius out because he's gonna show up later. Met. Yeah, take the comma. Hey, there Samuel and I met Melina Kingston, Julie Yukoshi, and Tim Yukoshi. Julie had a vision of Granny and Big Papa being chased by a skeleton dragon called Skeleton. So she went with me. Brownie, Samuel, and this cat named say, oh yeah, and this cat along with so she went with me, Brownie, Samuel, and this cat named Emily. It was really scary, especially when I had to face Skeleton all alone. Skeleton alone. But the hero I imagined myself being from within my watch, he motive. But but the hero I imagined myself being appeared from within my watch. He motivated me and helped me to get over my fears in the name of Jesus. I was able to, in the name of Jesus, and I was able to destroy the dragon. But Ramon warped me back to the firehouse. It seemed like everything is okay for now, but like Ramon said, this is just the beginning. There was also a blue fox with ice magic. She helped us out a bit. I wonder who she is and how did she know my name? On a side note, Emily didn't seem to be too trusting of Flora, but now I think she kind of trusts her. Yeah, I had that. I think she kind of trusts her since she tried to save Granny and Big Papa. Also, it seems like Brownie likes Emily the same way I like Naomi. I wonder if there'll be a couple. If I see Naomi, maybe we'll be a couple, and maybe Samuel and Flora will be a couple too. Huh, nothing like a little shipping there. if I One more thing to add, Samuel figured they figured with us going on more adventures, he was going to become a superhero. He'll be working on his costume and his superhero's name. I should probably make a name for the hero I created for myself. I'm thinking of the name Hero, and I'll call my watch the Destiny Watch. Anyway, that's all for the night, dear journal. Good night, everyone, and be ready for the next adventure. The end. For now. Whew. So, I actually read through that whole rough draft, yes, and everything is all right now. So, got it saved, and I just have to get the cover together. So that get the cover together and everything. So, yep. Until then, guess I'll, like I said, y'all, like what you heard. I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the stream, but yeah, definitely like, share, subscribe. Definitely like, share, subscribe. Super thanks, special chat, all that good stuff. Be sure to put emphasis on this to buy our available books, which include Yumeko #1 that's already out, and soon we will have Yumeko 2 out soon. Once I see, now that I done read it, y'all done heard me go through the rough draft, so soon as I get the cover and stuff, and yeah, just gotta send it off. So I'll be working on that this weekend, and should have that where I can order some copies next week. So yep. So yeah, definitely. Oh, no, there's something. Oh yeah. So yeah, do that, and also support us on that Patreon. just like your boy AJ the Supreme, Big Sis Casey, and the Iceman Universe. Go! Iceman Universe. Go! 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 Yeah, go and support us on that Patreon and buy some of those books. And also hang out with us on Discord, Discord and even on Facebook. Yeah, we'll be glad to chat with you for a little bit and everything. And also, we can sell each other some stuff on the Macari app, and that's pretty much it for now. Because now I'm pretty sure the vents done dried while I was doing all this. So I need to go and put these vents back in so I can turn this air conditioner back on and get me some more water. And I'll see y'all in the next video before I pass out in this heat. Y'all take care, everybody. I just kidding, but yeah, I gotta get some water in there. Let me end this here.